With the rise of devices such as the ASUS ZenFone 2, Alcatel One Touch Idol 3, and Motorola's Moto G, the market for affordable smartphones that still run like champs has risen to an extraordinary height. However, all of these devices have one thing in common: they all run Android. And while Android is a great operating system, that's a bit of a bummer for people who aren't fans of Google's mobile operating system. So, what are their options? Although there aren't quite as many choices, one of them is the Microsoft Lumia 735 on Verizon Wireless. This device is a rebranding of the same handset that was previously released by Nokia back in November of 2014, and it just made its way onto Verizon's network earlier this summer. Although its specs aren't super impressive, it has an extremely affordable price tag and has proven to run exceptionally well in day-to-day use. So, is the Microsoft Lumia 735 the budget phone for you if you're looking for a handset on Verizon? Let's find out in my full review. But guys, before we go any further in my review for the Microsoft Lumia 735, I'm gonna have to ask you one thing, and that is to please go ahead and grab that coffee cup, fill it up, bring it over, and sit on down, and take a swig from your mobile cup of Joe. From a hardware standpoint, the Microsoft Lumia 735 feels much more premium than its price tag would suggest. And despite the device now carrying the Microsoft name, this still looks and feels very much like a Nokia handset. The glass display sits atop a black polycarbonate body, and the feel in the hand is rather nice. The left and right sides of the phone are rounded off and create sloping curves on its backside. Now as for your ports, the top is home to the 3.5mm headset jack, and the bottom is where you're going to find the micro USB charging port. Now here's where things get a tad disappointing. The volume rocker and power button lie on the right hand side of the phone. Both of the buttons are extremely clicky and tactile, but unlike pretty much every other Windows Phone device on the market, the Lumia 735 lacks a physical camera capture button. This isn't a deal breaker by any means, but I would be lying if I said I didn't miss having that additional button there when taking photos. The other downside with the 735's hardware is the speaker. It's a very tiny grill that can be found on the back of the phone, and just like every other rear-mounted speaker, it lacks any sense of richness or depth. The audio does get loud, but because of its placement, it is incredibly easy to cover up and muffle completely. Despite these couple of minor flaws, the Lumia 735 is an incredibly well-made smartphone. It feels sturdy when held, doesn't creak at all when pressure is applied to it, and it definitely feels like it can take a few falls and still be perfectly fine. The Lumia 735 is home to a 4.7-inch 720p HD display, meaning that you have 316 pixels per inch on the screen. Although this isn't anywhere near the 577 ppi you'll find on phones such as the Galaxy S6, this is still a very respectable resolution on a screen of this size. Text is very readable, colors are bright and vibrant thanks to the OLED panel, and blacks are very deep and rich with Microsoft's clear black technology. And you know what? It was a lot of fun to use a smaller sized phone. Smartphones continue to get bigger and bigger, and very rarely do you see one nowadays with a screen smaller than 5 inches. The 4.7-inch display here on the Lumia 735 makes the device compact, usable in one hand, and very pocketable. Now although the smaller display may not be the best for watching movies or playing big games, it's simply fantastic for taking with you out of the house. Powering the Lumia 735 is the Snapdragon 400 processor. We're looking at a 1.2 GHz quad-core chipset backed up with 1 GB of RAM. Despite the lower-end internals, the Lumia 735 runs through normal day-to-day tasks like a champ. Animations are smooth, apps open quickly and run nicely, and there's really never any big issues with stutter or lag. The only real downside is that the phone doesn't handle multitasking all that well. If you try to go back and open an application after opening too many at once, it will have to restart itself simply because that 1 GB of RAM can't handle too much at once. The 735 can handle 2 or 3 apps open at a time, but you really can't push it much beyond that point without encountering some slowdown. For all of your selfies and cat pictures, the Microsoft Lumia 735 packs in a 6.7 megapixel camera on the back, with a 5 megapixel front-facing shooter up front. The main 6.7 megapixel camera is decent, and it performs exactly how you'd expect it to on a phone in this price range. Colors are accurate, but the lower megapixel count does result in less sharpness throughout all of your photos. The camera takes fine pictures for uploading to Instagram or Facebook, but that's about the limit for this lens. With that said, I was quite impressed with the 5 megapixel front-facing camera found in the Lumia 735. The wide-angle lens allows you to fit multiple subjects into a shot, and there's a surprising amount of sharpness found in the pictures. If you're an avid selfie taker, you will be very pleased with Microsoft's offerings here. If selfies aren't your thing, let's talk about something that everybody can get behind, and that is great battery life. The Lumia 735 houses a 2220 mAh non-removable battery, and although that may sound like a small unit, it proved to give the phone absolutely killer battery performance. If you're only using the phone for light social networking, taking a few pictures, making a few phone calls, etc., it's very possible to get through 3 days on a single charge. Even with heavier use, such as using the phone as a mobile hotspot, streaming music from Spotify, using turn-by-turn navigation, playing games, and much more, I was still able to squeeze by 2 full days of usage on just 1 full charge. That's better than most flagship smartphones out there, and you know what, that's just damn impressive. Microsoft's Lumia 735 is running Windows Phone 8.1 out of the box. The software experience here on the Lumia 735 is just like you'd expect to find on any other Windows Phone device. Your start screen is filled with customizable live tiles that you can rearrange and resize to your heart's content. Being able to see the weather, my most recent emails, and events on my calendar all on one screen is incredibly useful. This live information on your home screen has proven to be one of Windows Phone's greatest strengths. However, the platform is still lacking when it comes to applications. Although the Windows Store continues to grow, it's still missing some very notable apps, such as Snapchat, all of the Google apps, Runkeeper, and a bunch more. Similarly, a lot of the apps that are available here in the Windows Store are incredibly old and outdated. The Instagram app hasn't been updated since March 22nd of 2014, and the IMDb app hasn't seen an update since June 18th, 2012. Most of the apps on here run fine, but some do prove to be slower than their Android and iOS counterparts. As always, Cortana is a great addition to Microsoft's mobile OS, and she continues to be one of my favorite personal assistants on any smartphone platform. Her responses to my commands are quick and clear, but it would be nice to be able to trigger her with a hot word or some sort like you can on Windows 10. To initiate a voice command, you still have to go to the Cortana app and then hit the microphone before you can start dishing out commands.
It's currently 68 and mostly sunny.
Do an impression.
Expecto Patronum!
All in all, Microsoft's Lumia 735 is one of the best phones you can pick up right now for under $200 unlocked. With a durable design, a compact size, good display, snappy performance, and absolutely killer battery life, this is an all-around awesome purchase. If you're looking for a phone on the cheap, don't need a groundbreaking camera, you're content with the apps currently available on the Windows Phone platform, and you value battery life above everything else, this is definitely a phone for you. So guys, that's going to wrap it up here for my review of the Microsoft Lumia 735. If you have any further questions regarding this device, please let me know what those might be down in the comments below. And while you're down there, go ahead and click the like button if you like this video, and if you really enjoyed what you saw here today and you want to see more of it, also please consider clicking the subscribe button down below as well. If you guys want to stay in touch with us outside of these videos, go ahead and hit us up on all the socials, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Guys, that's going to do it for this video here today. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Microsoft Lumia 735. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.